What is going on, everybody? Man, what a long time. I'm trying to tell you guys, it's been, a couple months now. My goodness, but you got to love it. Welcome to Percussion Life. My name is Eric Perez. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by. And if you haven't already, please hit that like, subscribe, and notification button just so you can find out whenever I upload. And I think that's going to be pretty important coming along these days. And to all my day ones, man, I love y'all. Seriously, you guys are the best. It's not even a game. It's not even a joke now. Like, it's, you guys are ultimately like love y'all, man. Thank you for the continued support, the love, the comments, the messages. You guys just being concerned how I'm doing, man. I know. I got some explaining to do, and I plan to do it in this video. Again, if you are new here and don't know, we have an ebook. It's over 140 lessons on Congas and over 20 on bongos. And there will be an updated version 2 for the ebook coming out very soon. Robert Dam, thank you so much for all the love, man, and just your continued work, man. He's the one that, has really influenced me to just release the version 2. He transcribed a couple other patterns, and we will be, just giving those out, especially like the ones that already ordered the book. Yeah, you would get eventually a free upgrade because I'm just going to put it in the folder from your original purchase. But that should be announced very soon. I'm still working on my end on the design and all that stuff. So don't worry. Yeah, but we got an ebook and it's gonna be beautiful. And as well, I have an instructional video. All those links are down below. Really just basics and trying to help you out to get from beginner to intermediate. A lot of things that I've worked on and incorporated, a lot of stuff of course in this video, but just more detail and broken down. Trust me, man, it's over 90 minutes. Really good instructional video. But yeah, in this video I'm gonna answer some of your questions, and especially one of the ones I actually got a lot of. I don't know why, man. I always get questions on tuning, and I made a couple videos on tuning, but I always use some other device to help me tune. And to be honest with you, most of the times I'm just being, like, especially when I'm at home, I tune by ear, just however I'm feeling, very relative to the moment. Or I try, especially if like, I'm just trying to work some sounds out, some melodies out. That's when I'm just tuning by ear. But especially if I'm playing in a context where I'm recording, definitely tuning by note, specific note, just to make sure I'm consistent all the way through, or a specific genre. I'm going to be answering those questions in this video, along with all your other questions that you guys submitted, man. And as well, I will give you a nice little life update. I will link that timestamp down below, just so in case you just don't, want to hear my life and see what I've been up to during this time. But yeah, let me kind of show you where I'm at, especially if you're going to be tuning straight, from your ear, and you may not have a nice reference. The word I'm just going to be continuous saying is just balanced. That's the key word here, all right? Balanced. That's all I'm looking for. Balanced, all right? But just to kind of let you hear how my conga sound right now, I have a Tumba, conga, and quinto, 12.5, 11 3/4, and an 11-inch quinto here by Moperk, my beautiful series. And these are about to be coming out in mahogany very soon, y'all. You gotta love it. Can't wait to get those here so you guys can hear the difference, especially in this shape with that type of wood, man. You gotta love it. But yeah, just so you guys can hear how these drums sound right now. Man, so a great place to start is actually try to tune as flat and as low as you can go without losing some of that richness. And of course, I would never really tune my tumba this low, but it sounds really, beefy. And as well, the conga would never tune it that low, and a quinto most definitely not that low, especially if I'm just using it in a specific context. But these actually sound really good. Man, I forgot to warm up. Let me just do a quick little warm up. Very simple. I'm just taking this open, two opens, and then that last open, I'm just gonna leave it kind of flat and do a close slap. You guys have heard me do this a lot of times. A lot of people do it. Tata Windows is the one that really made it popular as well with Changuito. Putting that together. And what I do with that kind of exercise, I try to then move this around. So I'm just going to continue doing it. But my dominant hand, I'm going to move it here once in a while, going back and forth, for example. Then, when I start to feel a little bit more warmed up, those two opens that I do with my non-dominant hand, I move them over here. Yeah, and I'm still doing the same exercise. For example. You gotta love the melody of this. But yeah, this is normally where I would try to start, and I start going one by one from lowest to then moving on up. So what I try to do is find a nice rich sound. Again, balanced. That's the word here. So here I'm just gonna do a half a turn on each lug. And I hit the center of the drum, normally just a something like that, just right in the middle, just to settle that skin. After that, I give it a nice little test. I'm going to try to clip it so you can hear how it sounded before to the way it's sounding now. I actually like that. I would probably want a more rounder sound. So again, I'm just trying to go by ear of what tumba should sound like, you know, and that's, again, relative. And so I'm not going to do a half a turn. I'm going to do a quarter of a turn. And again, something that I like about this wrench is that I'm able to do it as close as possible. Believe it or not, that was just a quarter of a turn. You see how precise it got? Look how it sounded before. Now how it sounds now. I actually love that sound for my tumba. So I'm just going to leave it there. Woo, that thing sounds good. Now I'm going to move on to the conga. Again, that's my starting point. But what's good up to this point is, especially if you just have two drums, you're looking for, again, balanced sound between this to this. You don't want that, right? So I'm looking for something, again, half a turn. Ooh, that half a turn, that's actually really good right there. That's really good. I would probably do another maybe quarter of a turn just to experiment. Again, I'm looking for a sound and I cannot forget I still got this one right here. So I'm going to go kind of back and forth. Oh yeah. That's a big difference from how it was before. Now look at this. whoo, they're singing now, right? So now I have 2 reference points, especially because I'm playing with 3 drums, on how to make it sound balanced. Again, if I were just to play this quinto, which with the other 2 drums, ooh, that actually can, you know. Man, I just love drumming, man. Drumming really just helps the soul, man. Just helps the soul. Just helps you, you know, relieve stress, do things that allow you to just be creative, man. I just absolutely love drumming. I'm doing a half a turn right here. Again, looking for that balanced sound. With the quinto, though, I have to be careful not to maybe crank it too much where I start to lose that balance. Yeah, let me do like a little quarter of a turn. Again, if you were to see me like just, all I'm doing is like literally just a little turn, man. A little turn goes a long way. And that's, again, what I love about this wrench and this tuning system from Moperk is that I'm able to literally be as precise as I possibly can. So again, I just tuned it a quarter, and it gave it a nice little life. You got to love it, man. So yeah, to answer some of the questions as well, that's how I would try to tune relatively. And if you notice, there's a lot of little elements. If you're not finding that sound, again, I would start all over to look for something balanced. Now, I really don't know what note this is. I don't know what note this is. I don't know what note this is. The only thing I do know is they just sound good. That's all I know, man. I don't know what else to kind of show that to you is try to find a sound that feels right. And sometimes just trying to find that balanced sound. Notice how not one is just overwhelmingly above the other. So like these two sound good together. These two sound good together. These two sound good together. And all three sound great together. So that's kind of where you try to get that balance. Again, balance. And as well, like I I gotten a couple people ask me like the difference between my settings, and I'll try to put a screenshot of what I do. And I try not to do as much with the sound. I'll put a limiter on to make it sound a little bit louder. But honestly, I'm trying to capture what the room is sounding here and not take away from the natural sound of the drums, man. So the drums, I want them to sound as natural as possible, but as well exposing the natural tone. So for example, this bass right here, I want it to sound like I'm hearing it right now. I don't want it to be super like superficial and fake, or no. I want that, because I could hear, at this point I hear like a doom sound. Like I hear doom, like I hear that. I actually hear that coming from this drum right here. And as well, I hear the overtones, and a good overtone that these drums are giving. So I always try to EQ as natural as possible without really losing its essence. I try not to put reverb on there, and I try not to, again, to make it sound something that it's not. So normally with my EQ, and I'll put it here, I'm just really enhancing and exposing more of the natural sound that I possibly can, while still retaining the integrity of the sound of the drum. Another question that someone asked me about tuning is, do you tune differently for genres? Absolutely. Please. Absolutely. I mean, that's not maybe like a rule, but I think for me, it is a rule. I think each genre has a characteristic that's unique to its own. And if you're drumming, it should bring out that characteristic. Again, for like older salsas, you are tuning your drums a little bit lower because it was just, you know, more moodier. It was more bass heavy, versus like a lot of the more romantic salsas that are out now. It's not as much. Now the newer modern ones are fusing a lot of stuff, so it's kind of all over the place in that sense. But when it comes to like funk, you want to play, you know, tune it a little bit higher, especially, you know, if let's say in the context of me playing more funk pop music, I'm probably going to be using a quinto and a conga as my main drums, but I'll probably still take a tumba because I could tune it as high as this. So, but yeah, definitely a quinto will be a lot brighter, and I could tune it to a point where it's not really choking. Where a conga, although I can tune it to that point, I would probably prefer taking a quinto because I want to play it to that level without compromising the sound of the drum. But yeah, each genre has a specific feel that you want to portray, and so definitely like I would tune to that. A great rule of thumb is, if it feels out of place, then it is. If it feels like the sound of the drum is just way out there, then it is. Funk should definitely stand out, but not too much. It should also blend with the drummer. Salsa should be the drums, right? It should be the things that's driving the song, but it shouldn't be like the highlight of the whole thing. You know, if it's louder than the trumpets, you know, then there's a problem. Another question I get asked, and this is somewhat technical, but it's a common one I get asked, is where do you hit those two hits on the tumba in a tumbao? Applying it for 2-3 clave or 3-2 clave. And actually the rule applies for both. And again, normally, I'm saying this loosely, but normally the rule will apply to both. And that first hit on the two hits, right? Normally with the tumba is actually done on the second note of the 3 side of the clave. So it's, let's say it's 2-3. 1, 2, 1. Like that. Or if it's 3-2, 1, 1, 2. Normally, that's how you normally do it. So it's 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2. Or if it's 3 2, it's 1 1 2 1 1 2. Yeah, that's essentially how you would do it. So second hit of the 3 sides of the clave, that's your mark. Beautiful. It's beautiful how it just fits. Oh, another question I could ask is my thoughts on the 60th anniversary LP Congas. Well, they look great. They look super cool. I love that moody stuff. You know, I'm a moody guy, black background, black Congas. I love that, you know, shadowy kind of, and I love the look. The price is crazy, but they are fiberglass, and fiberglass really isn't my cup of tea. I understand the point of it. I understand it in a gigging context. You know, taking it to and from work with you to gig, and especially playing in settings where maybe mics are not always available. Yeah, man, it just makes total sense to get fiberglass drums. I am a purist in that sense that I love wood congas, and especially Moperk drums, artisan drums that are, you know, trying to keep to that tradition alive. And when it comes to fiberglass, I've just, you know, just never been a fan. But again, I understand the point. Will I play them? Yeah. Will I record with them? Absolutely. But would it be my preference? Not really. But I do love the look. I love the look, and man, 60th anniversary. It's kind of crazy for a company to be been around for that long. You gotta love it, man. Gotta respect OP. Oh, do I have any tips on sourcing new natural drum heads? Look, advocate for Manito Percussion. I'll put the link down below. Tack Percussion too. Them Swedish skins, man, beautiful. I played on those. Those are only two like that I could say that I've played on and tested. These are Venezuelan cowhide. I'm not sure if they sell them directly to people, but yeah, these sound amazing. Something I just, you know, just be mindful is quality control. Sometimes the skins can be uneven in thickness, and I know, like, for example, with people like Manito, people like Tack, they actually really look into all of that to make sure you're getting the best quality skin that you can, especially for that price. I'll put those links down below. But really good question, especially if you're trying to get into natural heads. Man, this question was good. Have I ever played any Festejo music? Man, I wish I could get down with like Peruvians, man, and all. Oh man, I love it. I've tried to I mean, I could play a little bit. I'm not, I would say, strong at that. I think like there's so much culture behind it that, you know, I would have to be around it a lot more. But man, when I play with, you know, some of my Peruvian brothers, and they'll tell me the timing, especially on the cajon, and oh man, it's beautiful. Mad respect, man, mad respect. But yeah, I personally love it. And this one, this is actually a good one, man. Actually, I at one point, especially when I was doing like the historical stuff on this channel, not sure if I could be able to do this now. I still do, like, I have a heart for it. But this is a good question. Would I be able to talk with a DC Gogo conga player on my channel? And what's like, oh, I know that's not your technique, but the exchange could be interesting. Yeah, I think it would be. I actually wanted to kind of like do a little short documentary on Gogo music, and especially Gogo conga playing. They call it Congo playing, but yeah, I am not a Gogo player whatsoever. I can swing a little bit, but Gogo itself has its own style, culture, technique. You know, even how they slap is very different. You know, they do a lot of that stuff. They do crossovers, but it's really pocketed. It's a fusion of funk with DC culture. And again, if you're, you know, into Chuck Brown and all that, like, it's in Backyard Band, all the old school stuff, man. It is something beautiful in the DMV that we, at least for me, I grew up listening to. But of course, being a conga player, I approached on a very purist way to approach that. But I still want to highlight Gogo music eventually on this channel, man. yeah, it's something that I would really love to do, and yeah, just show the world as well, man. Like I wanted to do that with other styles of conga playing that some people find it very different. Like there's ways that some Haitians play that's a very different technique that I would love to highlight that here in this channel. Hopefully one day, man. Hopefully one day when I can just do a lot more bigger projects, more, you know, timely and very precise. But about that, let me take you to this other side of the room. So, never really showed you guys that side of the room. And I think during this whole channel process, yeah, I don't think I've ever done that. It's normally been recorded either pointing that way, pointing this way, pointing that way, you know, from literally over there looking this way, and then of course the main shot that you guys are used to, but never that side. And yeah, I actually had books upstairs, and then I was getting way too many, brought it all back down here, and normally that's how it's been for quite some time now. But yeah, let me kind of explain what's going on. Some of you guys know already that I am a Christian. You know, I wear my faith on my chest and am not ashamed of it. But I've never really shown it off here on the channel, not directly like repent or perish. Yeah, I've never done that. That's not the purpose of this channel. The whole reason why this channel was is just to share the little that I know. And it's gonna remain that way. Absolutely, that's not changing, won't ever change. But yes, I actually am taking a very more serious role in my life right now, and as of this past Sunday was ordained as a pastor. This has actually started all the way back since 2019. I was called to plant a church in my area. This channel really was getting more consistent roughly around that 2017 2018 time, where I was still doing ministry at my local church, and I was still recording videos. I kind of making these videos as my mission field, man, spreading the gospel of conga playing, man, and that I loved doing that. So if anybody's like, Eric, you are this person that believes this, oh my gosh, if you learned something from this channel, you learned it from someone like me that believes what I believe. And so you can't deny that, y'all. Can't deny it. But again, I've never did it with that sole purpose to make a channel to be that. It was always a percussion life channel. That's the whole point. That was the whole point of this channel, and will continue to be the whole point of this channel, and will continue to share that same love, that same energy that I've always tried to share on this channel by my playing, by sharing the little that I know. But because I am taking a lot more serious role, I'm a pastor. I pastor a church. Yeah, this started back in 2019. Certain things happened there. Then COVID. Oh my gosh, you guys remember COVID? Then actually I started to go help another church and serve there, and there were some changes with that church, and I went back to doing what I was initially called to do, planting a church. And in 2023 I helped plant a church called the Bridge Bible Church. I'll put the Instagram down below if you're interested in following. But yeah, we are a church located in Greenbelt, Maryland. It was actually started here in my house. It's kind of crazy, man. Those were crazy times. I wish I had video, but I had my congas like lined up in the back, protected, because the kids would be down here, and man, my books were right there, and so the kids would learn stuff, and the whole church started upstairs in my dining room area, living room area. Kind of crazy times, man. But yeah, we're a whole church now, y'all. We are a whole church, and it is honestly a blessing that, you know, finally doing what I was called to do, you know, this whole time. And you may disagree with it, you may not believe what I believe, but I think that in that we all still share the same love for percussion, and I think in that you could still find love for me, and in your way keep me in your thoughts, keep me in your prayers. as this is a very serious role. I'm taking it just as serious as I do percussion. And so that's essentially it. I have always been this, y'all. This has not changed. I study God's word. I've been studying Reformed theology for so long. We are a Reformed confessional church, and so yeah, we're not, some crazies out there, just saying. But I do hope that you understand, if there's not that much consistency, it's because the brother is busy. But I still plan to upload videos. I still plan to do this. I still drum. I may not gig as much because, of course, time is limited. The time that I spent, and I just to kind of pause for a second, and just me opening up my heart, throughout this whole time from 2019 until now, a lot has changed in my life. Really, losing my cousin, who was my brother, really put perspective in my life and how much time I spend with my family and my wife and my son and my cousins, and just it really shook me to the core. And I think we all deal with that very differently. So I've always done YouTube to help people, to be a blessing, to show the little that I know, but not at the expense where I neglect those that actually know me, for Eric. If I have free time, that's who I go first, is my family. Then there's ministry, and then there's everything else. Do I still play congas? Absolutely. If you can see the joy in my smile playing them today, it's still there. I still have to warm up. I still play. It is my therapy. It is a way that I get to vent. It's a way that I get to, in Spanish we say desahogar, like just let everything go. And so I just really hope that you guys support me in this and understand where I'm coming from. But yeah, don't call me Pastor Eric. That's I'm still weirded out by that. Just call me Eric if you see me. But if you do want to support me, get the ebook, get the instructional video, get all of that. If you really want to support me, that money I pour back into the church, to be quite honest with you. Anything that I make off of this channel, I try to give it back to the mission of the church, and that is something that is important to me. And if you want to help and support our church directly, I'll put a link for that as well. Again, this is a young church. We're about to turn 2, and we've been doing things the right way. I think the right way. You don't start a church just to start a church. You do it for a reason, and that reason is for the name of the Lord Jesus Christ to be glorified, and to live it out through our community, amongst each other and everyone else. I think the world would be a better place if we just got back to doing that. Yeah, so yeah, again, that's probably the most you'll hear from me on that sense. Again, this channel was birthed from me doing this. I do this to glorify God. It's my faith. It's how this channel really, the core of it, why it came to be. Any brand that has tried to approach me knows that about me wholeheartedly. Moperk has supported me through all this. They love me even more. They know that, and I'm there to support them just as much as they support me. And so a lot of things that people that get to know me will see that from the get-go. I don't promote it here on the channel, not because I'm ashamed of it, but because that's not the point of the channel. The point of the channel is to learn something new on the congas. And where that came from me trying to honor my creator. And so it's just a way to I give back. And so I hope that you guys could understand that, respect that, love me for it, and continue to support. I have, again, like I said, I am going on sabbatical very soon, and so I will be able to record some videos, and I have a couple. I know one of you guys are going to ask me to break down something that I did here. I already know it. I already know it because I did a pattern that I was like holding off, and I'm like, should I show it? Yeah, I will. I will. I'll do it. I will do it. But yeah, thank you guys. I love y'all. I know this video was a little bit too long, but you know, if you agree where I'm at, pray for me, love me, pray for my wife or my son. I would bring my son here, but my boy's like that tall now, long hair, and he's just happy, man. He's ecstatic. Between us, he said he wants to learn congas. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, I don't even know if he's up for it. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to tell him. I'm like, I think I know a guy that you can watch on YouTube. Probably help you out. I really don't know. But again, y'all, thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions, any suggestions for the next video, please put it down below. Love y'all. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.